Hi, my name is Blair and I'm going to show you how to add a dashboard to your page as a content section in Umbraco 8. The agenda for this tutorial then is we'll take a look at the application architecture to see how a content dashboard section is built from AngularJS components. We'll then take a look at a demo page that features the dashboard, the URLs on screen. Finally, we'll take a look at the code that made this dashboard section and see how it was put together. I'd like to give credit to Mark Samoita, who inspired this work from his Building the SPA framework using AngularJS Pluralsight course. One of the best courses I've come across on Pluralsight. Actually, I find all Mark's Pluralsight courses worth a view. Demonstrates really good techniques in many areas of application development. Okay, an overview of the architecture for the dashboard section is in Umbraco. We create a document type and in this case we'll just set a title and a subtitle on it and then edit the template associated with the document type. That template will just use the JB.SPA framework directive, a single instance of it. That framework then uses a specific type of dashboard, WWE Dashboard. That dashboard control has all the configuration for the dashboard, which includes taking widgets from local storage that you've created on your page. It also identifies the Gridster options for your dashboard. Gridster is another plugin we make use of, and we set it up to have 12 columns on your dashboard, a bit like Bootstrap, I guess. And we set the options for allowing widgets to be pushed, floated and swapped. We then configure the title and the subtitle of the dashboard. As I say on screen, those two properties are taken from the CMS doc type. Actually, the whole thing could be controlled by the doc type, but for speed of development, I've just hard-coded everything apart from the title and subtitle. The dashboard has a widget definition array, so this is the array of all the widgets that you want to present on screen as options to add to your dashboard. Each widget will have a directive that shows how to instantiate itself. It'll have config that says what the initial size should be in the dashboard, and also what the initial content of a new widget should be. There's also settings for a modal pop-up dialog that allows you to change the settings of that widget, and the settings will be specific to the particular widget that you create. So just to recap, each widget you'll identify a directive to instantiate the widget. There'll be another directive that you'll refer to that will control changing the content of that widget, and there will be an array of these widget definitions that form the dashboard options. Each dashboard, and there is only one in this example, but each dashboard will make use of the JB dashboard, which is like a base class for dashboards, and that dashboard makes use of a base widget directive, JB widget body. There's one of those directives instantiated for each widget that the user wants to create, and the widget body directive this takes care of core widget functionality. So the top right menu, which has close and settings options, closes the dashboard, removes it from the dashboard, and the settings will pop up the change settings modal dialog for the widget to allow the user to change the settings. So that's core widget body functionality. The particular widget that is chosen will then be appended to the widget body and compiled with the current scope, so that it's able to make use of the core widget body functionality. For this particular sample, I've created 3 widgets. I actually borrowed them from Mark and just changed some styling and media. And that's that. As we'll see in the CMS, all kind of page features like accordions, tabs, are just page sections. So I've now created a new page section to add a dashboard, and that's how we'll add it to a page. Okay, we'll take a look at a demo application that will use this dashboard. So on my live website, I've created a dashboard page, which you can see here is empty. All my empty pages have a header menu and a footer section, and the body stretches to fill the remaining space on the browser. So in Umbraco, we'll add a dashboard section. So what we've got is the dashboard page. All my pages have a sections container, and I've defined dashboard just as a page section, much like all my other sections. So we'll pick a dashboard section to add into this page. We can combine it with a host of other sections if it seems relevant. Okay, so we'll fill in some properties of the dashboard. So all the dashboards have a title and a subtitle. The sample one is featured around Scottish rivers. Also, the dashboards can be configured to be in a bootstrap container fluid, or just fill the whole screen without worrying about margins or paddings. So we've added a dashboard section. Let's publish that and see how that looks on screen. Incidentally, you could flesh out this whole document type and have a lot more granular control over the widgets, but alternatively you can just create multiple dashboards with canned set of widgets and that's what I've done for this demo. So if we go back to the page, let me just refresh it. We'll now see that we've got a dashboard. We have our title, subtitle, got some dashboard controls, clear dashboard, nothing clear at the moment. And then we've got add widget. I've got 3 canned widgets for this, so we can add a temperature, we can add an inventory, we can add an employee, we can actually clear them, and then we add a couple of them. Then what you can see is that you define the functionality of each of your widgets, and you give them all an initial size. So the temperature one I've made smaller than the inventory, which I've made same size as an employee. So this dashboard kind of mimics what the temperatures are of various Scottish rivers, each of the rivers, how many guides are available, vests and rafts for going on trips on those Scottish rivers, and who works the companies that do the trips. Now all these pictures reflect the right river. So what you can see, the grid store, which contains the dashboard, will allow you to move controls and also kind of swap controls. You can see if it's the same size, swapping will kick in. And also, so here these are same size, so I swap. But it also allows you to kind of draw controls horizontally or vertically, or if you grab the arrow, you can do it. Now each widget will have a menu, so you can just remove it from the dashboard. And then for each of the widgets, it'll have a settings menu where you get a pop-up. This is, you control which widget does the pop-up, and then you can change the content of that widget. And that way you can build up a flexible dashboard. Well, I've never seen the river climb look like that. Another feature of this dashboard, as I mentioned earlier, is we make use of local storage. So if I close this page out and reopen it, then what you'll see is you get the widgets that you've configured. Finally, it is mobile aware, so you can take it down and use it in the mobile view. Okay, here's a look at the code to see how this was put together. So what I have is my dashboard section, which is the template for the doc type that you saw in the demo, where we entered the title and subtitle. So this is just the template that goes with that. And you can see for the dashboard, we set the container that we set up on the dashboard section, and we use the framework to pass in the title and the subtitle. So this in effect is all there is at the top level of the dashboard and its integration with the Umbraco doc type. The dashboard has its own CSS. I use less and then compile it all into a single minified CSS using gulp, and I provide a section override just to tinker anything to blend in with whatever theme that you have on your site. So supporting this section as it makes use of Angular controls directives, then my master page for the site will have some dashboard additions. I could put these into the individual section, but some of these items are generally useful throughout the app, so ng storage, UI bootstrap, gridster, they could be in here, and all those widget directives might be useful elsewhere in the application, so we just bung the controllers, the directives, the resources that they make use of into the master page together with the CSS that goes with it. So that's the master page, and as we saw, the document template makes use of the SPA framework, so we'll have a look at that, and there's very little in there. Mark's video actually has menu and top and switching the menu to horizontal to vertical, etc. But I want to make use of my page menu, navigation menu at the top, so I just stripped all that out from the framework. And basically it's nothing more than just show the dashboard that you want, in this case WWE Dashboard, and pass in the title and subtitle from the content. Here's the framework's directive. We don't make use of much of this since we stripped out the menu, but I've left much of it in there. So on the dashboard itself, you can see that we've got the title and the subtitle, and then we've got the dashboard controls, which were the two buttons that we saw for clearing the dashboard, and then the add widget, which is a drop down that basically adds a new widget to the definition that's being maintained. The actual dashboard itself is a gridster control, and each widget is a gridster item, and each gridster item is a widget body as a base control for that. So we'll look at the logic that goes with that. The dashboard basically has just got the functionality for adding a new widget, which gets added into the widgets array. That's all there is, plus I have this special flag just to hide the widget drop down menu each time it gets clicked. And then clear dashboard, that just clears out all the widgets that you've got configured, and there's actually a watch on that property, so it clears it out from local storage as well. We'll take a look at the widget body. So each widget is a widget body, and the actual widget that you want will get appended to the end of this. But the widget body does a position absolute of a drop down menu in the top right, and that's with the bars, and that will show you two menu options: one to close the widget and remove it from the dashboard and local storage, and the other one will be to invoke the settings dialog that's associated with the widget. And the widget body, we can just see functionality to add in the new widget into the scope of this widget body, and then process any close. Click of the widget body, remove it from the array, and then the settings, click to settings, then I'll access the widgets template and controller, and open a modal dialog to take care of changing settings on the widget. Finally, the piece of code that brings it all together is the WWE Dashboard that gets invoked from the framework, and that uses the SPA dashboard and passes in configuration in the scope. Now if you look at the scope, there's the grid stir options, which is we've got 12 columns. We put a margin around each, and we allow pushing, floating and swapping of widgets within that dashboard. We then define the widget definitions array. This is the default settings for each of the widgets. The user overrides them by changing the size on the dashboard and changing the settings. So we've defined 3 widgets: temperature, inventory and employee, and we give them an X and a Y initial size. The template for the widget, and the default content. In this case it picks up a particular location, and then we provide the modal dialog settings, so you can change your location when you want to view the temperature, and the controller that goes with that template. Same for inventory, give it an initial size, the inventory directive and its settings, initial content, and same for employee, we pick an initial employee. So then we can see that the widgets is what appears in the dashboard, and it's taken from local storage or defaults to an empty array. And here's where we keep an eye on the widgets, so that every time a widget is added or removed, we reflect that in local storage. And that's a quick tour of the code.